Welcome back to Born to Scale. I'm Meg, and today I'm going to show you how to optimize a Google Ads campaign, specifically a search campaign, and we're actually going to be in the platform looking at some numbers together. Let's dive in. Before you optimize any Google Ads campaign, you have to make sure of these three things. Number one is your business goals. Are your business goals clearly defined, and do you know exactly what outcome you want from this Google Ads campaign? And did you set the campaign up in a way that would deliver those business results? Number two would be conversion tracking. Did you clearly define the actions that you want the internet users to take on your ads and on your website? And did you implement conversion tracking that would properly record those actions to get better conversions? And number three would be making sure that there is enough data in your Google Ads campaign to optimize to begin with. What do I mean by that? The data that your Google Ads campaign collected is statistically significant to take a look at and make optimization decisions. So once you've made sure that these three things are in place properly, we can go ahead and optimize the campaign. So let's jump right into the Google Ads platform. So before we dive into this Google Ads walkthrough, let me give you a quick background. Over the past decade, I've personally managed over $200 million in paid media and helped generate over $600 million in tracked revenue for my clients across industries, from e-commerce, fintech, to tech, to education. Some of my clients are actual big sharks like Columbus Meats, the charcuterie brand you've probably seen at Whole Foods, and Circle, a fintech giant, currently valued, last I checked, at $48 billion. That is to say, I know Google Ads well. Now today, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm managing a $9,000 per month Google Ads budget for a client that runs a private school where each enrollment is worth $15,000. Now the school is for adults and it takes you to a six-figure career if you sign up for it and pay the $15,000 tuition. Here is the live Google Ads account. First, I'll walk you through the key metrics I'm looking at here and how I think about each one, because it's not just about leads for us, for this client, it's about profitable enrollments. So first I see impressions. This number tells me how many times our ads were shown. And if this number is too low, it means we're not even playing the game. And to increase impressions, I would expand our keyword list with high intent variations. Or if I'm doing manual bidding, I would raise my bids. In this case, I'm doing automated bidding and it's automated to get me conversions at a fixed rate, which is target CPA, if you are familiar. And I would always check auction insights to see if someone's outranking me and why. Because remember, the goal isn't to be everywhere for this client, it's just to be seen by the right people who can afford the tuition. That's a bit of a high ticket tuition, and they just need to be highly interested and educated on what this program is. The next metric I'm looking at here is clicks. This tells me how many users have clicked on my ad, and the click-through rate is basically how often my ad is clicked by users. And if this number is low, it would tell me that my ads are not compelling enough, that our message isn't connecting. There was actually a study done on click-through rate, and they found out that your ad copy determines if users find you competent or not. So the quality of your ad copy can somehow signal competence, and they have to basically trust that you can get the job done just looking at your ad copy, which is ridiculous, but that's how user psychology works, and it's all about cracking and hacking that psychology, right? Another trick you can implement is you can match the copy more tightly with the keyword intent. This means you have to meet people where they are, not where you wish they are. It's as simple as inserting a keyword that's literally in your list into your ad copy and making sure that it is visible in your headlines and descriptions, because that is going to psychologically make people trust you more. And this has nothing to do with your competence, how long you've been in business, if you went to college for what you're doing, or you've been in it for 25 years versus someone who's done it for 5 years. Whoever has the more relevant ad copy will win. So next we have conversions, but we don't just track any leads when it comes to this business. We import qualified leads from the client's CRM, only form fills and phone calls that are legit, by the way. So we don't play the vanity metric game in this account. To increase conversions, I would test new landing page variants, simplify the form. Like, users shouldn't have to feel like they're applying to Harvard to just get info. Our form is very informational and very simple, and that's why we're getting such great conversions. And another thing we do is retarget non-converters with tailored follow-ups. So let's take a look at our conversion rate. Actually, I'm going to put conversion rate here, and I am going to pull up our CPA on this card, cost per conversion. Here we go. So our conversion rate is 8.85%, which is way above the industry average, considering that this is a combination of non-branded and branded campaigns, and we spend really small budget on our branded campaign, by the way, because we realize we make more money targeting non-branded keywords. We spend more money on them, and our conversion rate for it is 8.85% combined. And that is so great, especially considering that each sold lead is worth $15,000. So if you run a quick calculation on it, an ROI or ROAS formula, take the gross revenue, subtract ad cost from it, and then divide that by the ad cost again, then you would get the return on investment. And in this case, actually, when I looked at last month's numbers, we had a 24x return. We signed up 15 students and only spent $8,000 something on it, and basically for every dollar we spent we got $24 back. This is a highly profitable campaign, so we make sure to take care of this Google Ads campaign right and optimize it when necessary. Like I said, we don't optimize for vanity metrics, but if I wanted to increase this conversion rate, I would probably ask some questions or do some digging into keyword intent, like is it too top of funnel? I would also look at landing page clarity. Does it feel trustworthy, urgent, exclusive? Your landing page is the final destination for users to land, and that's where a conversion happens, the type of conversion that matters to your business. So you have to make sure it's painlessly easy to navigate, and it's appealing and informative, professional. Everything that you want to be needs to be conveyed on that landing page. And you can also take a look at device level performance. And sometimes mobile underperforms, and we have a fix for that. So let's take a look at cost per acquisition. Cost per acquisition is how much we spend to get a qualified lead. Again, not raw leads, sold ones from the CRM. For this client, we aim to keep CPA. When I say CPA, it's not the CPA we see here. I'm looking for a sales qualified lead, and we are hoping that we don't spend more than $750 for a student. And currently we're way lower than $750, so that's also working great. And you can see that we have a huge profit margin here. But we also can't scale this account too much because they can only accommodate 15 students per month. But if you find that your CPA is too high and it's basically eating into your profit margin too much to where you're questioning if I should be running Google Ads, then I would do some of these things before I consider turning off Google Ads. There's a lot that you can look into. First of all, you can kill underperforming keywords. You can optimize your bids based on device, time of day, and geo. You can optimize your audiences, your users' income brackets, demographic, age, gender. And when I say geo, I mean you can optimize the zip codes that you're serving your ads in. I would also work through improving my quality score through better ads and landing pages. If your ads are not connected to the keywords, Google will drop your quality score, and that is eventually going to increase your cost per click, and a high cost per click will lead into a high cost per acquisition. So it is very important that you set up your campaigns, your keywords, your ad groups very tightly and in a very organized way that Google says, okay, this advertiser really deserves traffic. Here's some traffic, advertiser. And the advertiser gets a high click-through rate. And Google says, okay, well done. Well, you're highly relevant, so I'm going to charge you less per click. And when that happens, then you start paying less for an actual sold lead. And that's how businesses scale and keep high profit margins running Google Ads. What you're seeing on this dashboard is some front end numbers, and what actually matters is the ROAS, like I said. This is where the rubber meets the road. So last month, again, we spent $9,000 and enrolled 15 students, and that gave us a 24x ROAS. Because we are importing actual leads data into Google Ads, we're feeding the algorithm real success signals, and Google loves that. That is how you scale. So that's a look inside how I manage a high ticket Google Ads account. If you're running ads and not importing your closed leads back into Google Ads, you're optimizing for the wrong thing. Impressions, click-through rate, conversions, CPA, they're all great, but they only matter if you're making money. Thanks for tuning in, and if this episode gave you any insight, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. I'll be back with more.